In fact, the reason why it was conducted is that we are facing major challenges in the world in this century, from issues of development, that almost half of the global population has been left behind, to the fact that there is indoor and regional air pollution, climate change, a lack of energy security, and as you can see, many of those things are connected to the energy. And this is why we felt, a number of us, that it would be necessary to undertake a major assessment on energy issues that would be very similar to the IPCC. The big difference is the entry point is energy rather than climate, but the global challenges are very similar. In the global energy assessment, there was an agreement from the beginning that there would be a number of normative goals that would characterize a transformation toward a sustainable future. And those goals include also climate protection, and that means climate mitigation and adaptation. In case of global energy assessment, the agreement was that we would pursue future energy development that would lead to stabilization of climate at less than 2 degrees above the pre-industrial level. And as you probably know, this means really vigorous mitigation. But other policies, and I think that's the key, other policies that are considered in global energy assessment, like increasing energy security, like eliminating a lack of access in the world, that means everybody would have access by 2030, this was one of the goals, and also eliminating regional air pollution. All of those objectives also have positive effects on climate mitigation. So these multiple benefits are a very important part of the global energy assessment, that by doing proper solutions to the energy dilemmas and challenges, you would also help mitigate climate change.
If you travel to Rome, you want to go to Rome, but you can travel in different forms and fashions. So we explore pathways to get to this 2050 state. And in doing so, we branch out in different directions. So we say there are 3 energy efficiency levels, so that leads to low energy demand or high energy demand, but for the same society, the same economy. In each of those 3, we branch into 2 transportation systems. One is more conventional, based on liquid fuels essentially, and one is more advanced, with large contributions of electric vehicles, fuel cells perhaps. And the third branching point is on supply, where we investigate various constraints on the energy supply system. So this means that in total we look at 60 combinations of energy sources and energy technologies. And we find that 41 of them fulfill these criteria. So we have a lot of opportunity, a lot of possibility, which moves the question to the real critical one. How do you make any of these happen?
The modeling played a very important role, like I think in all of the assessments. And the reason is, I think, easy to understand. An assessment like this analyzes first the challenges. This was one of the first questions you asked me. So there are a number of chapters dealing with challenges. There are a number of chapters dealing with options, from supply all the way to sectors, industry, mobility, and so on. And then you have to integrate all of that. And this is where the models, integrated models, come into place. By taking the findings of all of the chapters, 2 models were used to try to have consistent pathways or describing the transformation to a sustainable future. One of the models was the integrated model at IASA, message, and the other one was image. And these 2 models were then used in a comparative basis to develop about 60 alternative pathways into the future, 40 of which can be characterized as being very sustainable. This also indicates that we have degrees of freedom. There are different pathways leading to a sustainable future, and I think that's an important result. And then last but not least, let me say that these models were essential for formulating the policy portfolios. That was the whole purpose in some ways, is to offer much better understanding what kind of policies can actually bite, can make a difference in helping achieve this transformation.